Since it's the holiday season, there is a rash of new Christmas-themed movies that are hitting the streaming platforms. Most recent, Jingle Bell Heist. It's a Netflix rom-com with an Ocean's 11 sort of bent. So will this steal your heart, or should it be locked up for crimes against emotions? A sharp-witted retail worker and a down-on-his-luck repairman are small-time thieves with their eyes on the same Christmas Eve score, robbing London's most notorious department store. Forced into an uneasy alliance, as secrets surface and feelings for each other deepen, the pair put their relationship and the heist in jeopardy. Olivia Holt, Connor Swindells, Lucy Punch, and Peter Serafinowicz star in this easygoing and lighthearted Christmas rom-com. Right from the start, we're shown that Holt's Sophia is going to do the wrong thing for the right reasons, and Nick, played by Swindells, is also taking a huge risk to keep a relationship from falling apart. Now, the setup for this is straightforward, simple, and despite having to suspend your disbelief multiple times, it does provide the backbone for a cute and humorous story. The comedy rarely made me laugh out loud, but there were certainly a bunch of chuckles, mostly thanks to either some quick wit from Holt or a silly action that one of the stars has to perform. Now, because the whole plot revolves around stealing from the department store where Holt works, she has to then perform certain tasks that involve cloak and dagger actions. Sometimes these work just thanks to the charm that she gives off. Other times, though, I was rolling my eyes because of how ridiculous she'd be in order to get something completed. Like diving through a closing window. And despite it being where employees could just see her at any moment, she carries on with it. Other times it involves characters running through hallways and leaping off balconies, hoping a prop house will gently break a fall. Now, none of these are reasons to hate the film or even stop watching. They're just cheesy elements that capture the absurdity of the plot. Serafinowicz is spectacular as a stoic and cold multimillionaire. He barely speaks, but gets to gaze off into the distance with some disdainful scowl on his face as he literally stares down on his employees. There's barely any development on the character, other than he's rich, doesn't treat his employees all that well, and is more than likely way more sketchy than his wealthy facade displays. Lucy Punch is also a character who has a large impact on a portion of the story, but is someone who lacks all background info other than the cursory information to know who she is. And thanks to an exposition dump, we get to learn her role within the story. Outside of that, though, she doesn't get to contribute much. But I thought that was a shame because both her and Serafinowicz are excellent at comedy with their dry and well-timed sarcasm. Now, the most important development and information we get is on the two leads, which does make sense. But because this is a quick 90-minute rom-com, we're provided with just the right amount of context for the predicaments to form this connection, and then it's off to the races with the storytelling. Honestly, I'm not looking for a massive amount of character building with the two. They can be cute together, but not in an instantly obvious way. In fact, when it began, I wasn't sure this was actually going to be a rom-com given Nick's history and then responsibilities. But once we get to watch the pair in action more and more, they do grow to become likable, and then a couple that we can root for. And almost everything in this, it's either predictable or obvious, except for one plot point, which I didn't see coming. And is it groundbreaking? No, but it does work to create even more context for this heist. And a surprise, it's always nice to have, even if it is small. The rest of the trajectory is played safe and by the book. They plan the heist, there are minor complications, they get alternate solutions, more snafus occur, and then along the way they discover they enjoy spending time together and begin to have deeper feelings for one another apart from their shared goal of just robbing the rich guy. I think probably one of the sweetest moments comes when Holt and Swindells are just sitting in a diner having a conversation. There are a few real moments that are exchanged, providing the context for them to then develop a relationship. And although the conversation is simple, it's very intimate, with some reveals that make them endearing. Now, if you go into this looking for deep meanings or lasting memorability, you'll be disappointed. But if you're in the mood for a light and easy romance, it will suffice. The plot's a little unique, not utilizing that same tired premise of a girl who returns to her hometown and then reunites with her former love, which then helps to make this more fresh and enjoyable. Holt and Swindells, they're cute in their verbal sparring, creating humorous banter despite the predictable circumstances. As far as holiday-themed rom-coms go, this isn't anywhere near the best, but it's also not even close to being the worst. But if you do need a casual watch to unwind, it's not a bad way to spend 90-ish minutes. There's no sex or nudity, little profanity, and then barely any violence. I give Jingle Bell Heist 3 out of 5 couches. I mean, don't rush to watch this, especially if you've got others in your queue that are just favorites, but add it to the list to check out at some point. Okay, what are some go-to holiday films for you? I mean, there are way too many, I know, right? I love a bunch of them too. Dan in Real Life, Love Hard, White Christmas. Those are a few that I rewatch every year. But let me know what makes your list in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.